Welcome to Aneke TV, the heartbeat of culture, truth, and innovation. From breaking news to inspiring documentaries, from grassroots traditions, mysteries of life to global perspectives, we'll tell your stories. We amplify your voice and your vision. With every screen we light up, we connect, inform, and empower. It's more than a television. This is Aneke TV. We move with the world. Okay, dear viewer, many thanks to you for having joined us on the program today. It is called The Arena, reaching you on Aneke Television, and The Arena is where we meet to take on perspective of happenings in society, especially burning topical issues and matters that affects us as a people. We host analysts and guests who come on The Arena to take on these issues and matters, providing solutions on the way forward so that we could engender a better society for every one of us. So you're welcome on board. My name is Chris Anibogu. Thanking you for joining us today. Yes, we are looking at the Enugu State Government versus Sujimoto issues and implications of this scandal. And we have on the show to do analysis of this very important matter in society now, a public affairs analyst as well as a political strategist in the person of Honorable Chukwunonye Okereke. It's a pleasure to have you, sir.
My pleasure to be here.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so there you sit back as the program runs. You are aware when the news broke within the media space, when the Enugu State Government cried out, alerting the public of the fraud by a contractor known as Sujimoto, who was awarded a contract, to execute up to 22 smart schools out of the 260 of them ongoing by this current administration in Enugu State led by Dr. Peter Ndubisimba. Then at the end of the day, the government cried out of some fraudulent sharp practices by the contractor and then went after the contractor with the EFCC. But then the contractor, after some time, appeared on the social media trying to give some clarifications, but then he later handed himself over to the FCC, and the case investigation is still ongoing. Honorable Chukwunonye Okereke, I don't know your perspective about this matter, on this very particular issue. What do you think about it all? You are aware of the happenings.
Thank you very much, Chris. The government of His Excellency Peter Ndubisimba, on inception, decided to do something out of the usual and ordinary. He wants to build a digital educational system that will trigger off the digital economic revolution in Enugu State. And he believes that part of the pathway to actualize that is by building what he called smart green schools across the 260 wards of Enugu State. The smart green school concept was not really properly thought through because 260 units of them across the whole local government area is going to be very humongous and possibly financially burdensome on the treasury of the government, knowing fully well that there are other competing needs that the state needed to attend to. And how it will be structured, is it going to be a primary school or secondary school or a nursery or kindergarten? But it seems that it is a school that is, all of these things I've just mentioned, rolled into one. So it's not really too clear how that is going to be. People keep on saying smart green school, smart green school. Is it smart green primary school? Or is it smart green secondary school? Or is it smart green technical school? What does it really mean? Because we know we have primary school system, secondary school system, vocational school system.
As the 664
exactly. So,
system.
But he came and said it is smart green school. From my own understanding, he's lumping in everything together. We say no problem. It's all about digitization.
But point of correct, he said it's a combination of the primary school and then You know, basic classes.
You see,
and then just 1, 2, and 3 put together.
You don't confuse us. You run a primary school. That's why we have what they call State Primary Education Board. SPEB. At the national, they call it ENSUBEB. Structured in the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria. We're talking about laws here. Secondary school is clear. Post-primary school management board managing them. You cannot lump in the management of primary and secondary school together. Whereas it has already been disaggregated at the state level. They have 2 different management components and managers. And their curriculum is entirely different. Even in the revised curriculum now that the Federal Ministry of Education has brought out, the secondary school curriculum is different from primary. The primary has been shrunk from around 17, 18 subjects to around 10 to 12. And secondary school with small changes here and there. So it's very clear. And their sources of funding is equally very clear. The state brings in counterpart funding for the universal basic education. The federal government brings in their own. And they will not be able to use it to execute projects within that sphere. So you see, some of these things, we are looking at it, I say, okay, maybe there is something novel that he wants to carve out from this. Because it's a little bit out of the ordinary, lumping in primary and secondary school together under one roof. Knowing fully well that a whole lot of things has been compromised in the design. So, at inception, it was his flagship project. By July 2024, he started awarding contracts to a couple of contractors. Though he did not follow the standard public procurement procedures.
How do you mean?
Now, for you to award a contract in Nigeria, there's what we call Public Procurement Act. First and foremost, you must advertise the job and request for bidding from the contractors. That is the step 1. Step 2, every completed bidding must be enveloped and marked bidding, and it must be opened at a specific date. There must be evaluation, technical and financial evaluation of that contract that you are intending to execute for the government, which only you did not bid for. There are others that bidded for it because it was what we call open competitive bidding. All these things are put in place to forestall situation of fraud that might come in. And you must get your performance bond, what we call advance payment guarantee, from any bank in Nigeria. Now, the act made it in such a way that there will be layers to forestall corruption and fraud. Because if a bank gives you a performance bond and you could not perform, the government don't need to start running around pursuing you. They will just simply go to the bank, and bank gives them the mobilization percentage they gave you. So why the Sujimoto thing is a little bit complex, that from the beginning the government breached the law. They did not follow the law.
From the beginning.
And that is why they are into this mess. And in this mess, unfortunately for them, it will become an academic exercise, because basic things were not done, like I've just enumerated to you now. If they were to have done it, they wouldn't be in this problem. We will not even know who is Sujimoto, because the government will simply go and collect their money from wherever he got his performance bond from. But they did not, and that's why people are beginning to believe there is something that they are not telling us. This is the first contractor that you are mobilizing in Enugu since you started giving contracts. Why will he be Mr. Gundele, a luxury construction apartment entrepreneur in Lagos, who does not have deep knowledge about public education construction? Why would you invite him? What does he really know in construction in that realm? Meanwhile, we are talking about schools. Sujimoto was invited for the purpose of building a 69-story building in Enugu. We are forgetting that. Apart from the smart school, they were talking about building smart city. So the first line of contract provision for him was that of the smart school. And why would who approved the payment of that 50%? Knowing fully well that the Procurement Act does not allow payment of 50% mobilization. The maximum is 15%. 15, that is what the Act made provision for. You see, when you look at Nigeria, well, at times we think that this country is just like that. It's we that are the implementers of the constitutional provisions are always at default. Imagine if they had followed through what the law has said in respect of this problem would not have emanated. But unfortunately, they refused to do the right thing, but they did things right.
But then also, again, I believe, Honorable Chukwuno Okereke, that there are standards. There is a design, all right, for all of the contractors to follow, because we understand a smart school has a particular pattern. So if we have other contractors, okay, being awarded some parts of the contract and they've executed, so why should that of Sujimoto be an issue in the first place?
How many of those schools have been executed fully? They were having problem of, you see, this thing...
No, to a reasonable number.
My brother,
yes, there's
nothing like reasonable number here. 260 is 260. Is it 10%?
That's the target.
Is it 10% has been executed? This is September. All of them were meant to have started in this September. School is starting next week. Is it 10% of the school? Is it 20? If it's 20, can you show me 52 schools that have been completely built and equipped, ready to fly? 20% is not a pass mark. It's not even a weak pass. It's outright failure. Because weak pass should have been 40% or 45%. Fair should have been 50%. But you are not going to see it anywhere. It's not all about, you see, procedures in contractual arrangement is not like a town union meeting that they were given. Who gave what? We say advertise it, make it open. Advertise it in 2 national newspapers. It has to be advertised in Federal Tenders Journal. You must advertise it online. All these things we are geared towards knowing fully well that your intention in your mind is headquartered inside your mind. We want that thing that is your mind to be on paper so that we can have practical evidence. Today, we don't have practical evidence. It's not about that we are giving who gave what. Civil service is too structured in such a way that you don't make mistakes. You have competent contract engineers in Ministry of Works, Enugu State Ministry of Works. Those that understand this, they have due process office there. There are things we should not be talking about in 21st century. The Public Procurement Act was primarily for the purpose of transparency, accountability, and value for money. And if you have seen that on all these legs, it has collapsed in the respect of the Sujimoto arrangement. 5.7 billion naira taxpayers' money has grown wings and flown away from the treasuries of Enugu State government. And getting that money back, knowing fully well the way justice system runs in this country, is going to take like 10 years. And the guy is going to put up his own argument.
The argument he has brought forth so far is the fact that he says that cost of materials.
Definitely.
But cost of materials, but then he's not the only contractor executing this project.
Others might be too shy to come out with it. From what we know, none of them is going to break even. He complained that the 520 million you are talking about for a school is not going to do that school.
So why didn't he indicate that from the very first word go?
You see, all this thing you're talking about is he knew that you are trying to be smart, and he had to be smarter than you. You saw a process I've just enumerated, and you left it. It's okay, let us discuss it like the men. Knowing fully that he cannot do it, he had to agree. And you have seen where the agreement has led everybody. He has picked this money. He told you 520 cannot do this job. Meanwhile, the state has not been very clear with the contract sum. Can they publish the contract file? Can we see the documents? Can we see the JAIS bond? What and what was contained in the crafting of that bond? Bonds are not just given like that. What are the conditions surrounding the bond? Why would somebody get a bond from Bank A and payment made by a government that have accountant general, auditor general, all manners of accountants into another bank, Zenith Bank? Even an ordinary businessman, is he not suspicious?
That's the point of confusion, because
from
the government side, they are saying what he submitted was Jay's bank.
Performance bond.
Performance bond.
Yes.
But then the account, they said he submitted for the payment.
Is that his fault? Why did you pay into the... Why
It's
didn't you...
Zenith Bank. So that's the confusion. Why would that
There's
happen?
no confusion there. I've told you, the young man is smart. He saw that the government has refused to follow due process. So he had to tag along with them. You can see through that. He brought Jais Bank. Why would they pay into Zenith Bank if there is no concurrence? Knowing fully that what guarantee does is to hold the bank liable if, peradventure, this guy runs away with their money. The bank will not pay. If that money was spent into Jais Bank and this guy runs away, it doesn't concern the government. Jais Bank is going to refund the government. Now, Jais Bank gave you performance bond and you did not mobilize into Jais Bank account. Zenith Bank did not give you performance and you paid into Zenith Bank's account. What you technically did was that you are paying into Sujimoto business account, maybe for a particular deal that they are not aware of, or money you are owing him. And you have to quickly utilize the money. And that's why we have seen this imbroglio. And we're not going to come out from this. You see, they say EFCC does not kill anybody. There is a number of weeks or months he will not exceed in EFCC cell. They must be preparing to prosecute him. Very soon they will grant him bail. And the case will stretch. You've seen it in Nigeria. Some has lasted for 10 years. Some has lasted for 20 years. And it will be endless because the young man will make certain things open there in the EFCC office in the course of interrogation. You see, we've not seen the end of this matter. The last time he said that they gave him 2 different bill of quantity. In a job, one particular job, you had 2 different bill of quantities.
Well, that's according to him anyway.
That is, no. He's talking to EFCC. It's no longer according to him now. It's not about according to him. He has told EFCC there must be interrogation that was ongoing that made him to bring that fact. We never knew that there was 2 bill of quantity. Possibly EFCC must have asked him, "Can you show us evidence?" Maybe he has tendered the 2 bill of quantity. Say, wow, why would there be 2 bill of quantities in a particular project?
All right, Honorable Chukwuno Okereke is our guest on the arena today, but then we'll get back on the show after this time. Please don't go away. Welcome to Aneke TV, the heartbeat of culture, truth, and innovation. From breaking news to inspiring documentaries, from grassroots traditions, mysteries of life to global perspectives, we'll tell your stories. We amplify your voice and your vision. With every screen we light up, we connect, inform, and empower. It's more than a television. This is Aneke TV. We move with the world. So, there you are. You're welcome to the show, The Arena, on the Aneke television. And today I told you we have Honorable Chukwuno Okereke, who is a public affairs analyst as well as a political analyst, talk to us on the Enugu State government versus Sujimoto contractor issues and implications of the scandal. So back to you, Honorable Okereke. I wouldn't know if we've had different opinions from different quarters about this matter. We even heard from the government side, and then we are now hearing from you as a public affairs analyst and as a concerned citizen. You are an Enugu man. 5.7 billion naira given as part payments, 50% to Sujimoto for the execution of 22 smart schools. But we understand that the government pattern in the execution of these smart schools is that contractors are first awarded 50%. But now you're telling us that the normal procurement act says 15%.
Yes.
So why would we be giving 15%? And then we have initial release of funds for smart schools at 50%.
That is what I'm trying to tell you.
And that cuts across, it cuts across board for all the contractors.
No, Sujimoto was the only contractor mobilized.
I doubt that.
I'm telling you now, there is nobody doing that job that has been mobilized. They try to go and get, the way they are paid is like you mobilize yourself to site. Didn't you notice that the whole projects are not moving the way it's supposed to move? Do you think that if you have given them 15%, by now the schools will have they will have gotten almost 50% of the schools?
If they were given 50%.
If they were given mobilization. Because you mobilize. If they deliver to a particular level, maybe 30%, and you've seen the evidence of what they have done, You give them another 15. And you see the evidence what he has done with the 15. You can try to pay him off to tidy up. Because ordinarily, in contract execution, it is the resources of the government that you use to execute projects for the government, not your resources. And that's why the government or the contracting agency looks for what they call performance bond. Your bank now will come in to guarantee that you can execute this volume of contract, considering the traffic and cash flow in your account. If your account has never gotten up to 100 million, they may not give you a guarantee of 500 million or 1 billion, unless you have a collateral or special arrangement with the bank. But it falls on the bank because they know the implication. They must know who you are very well and your company. You may not have gotten maybe 100 million or 200 million passing through your account, but because of the relationship and they've seen the cash flow in your account, and they know you pretty well, maybe recommendation coming from here and there, they will guarantee you. Knowing fully that if you don't perform, they are liable to pay. That is why it comes in. And they've not done it. Have you seen any contractor that said that they mobilized him? I wouldn't. I'm not sure.
Over Sujimoto,
Sujimoto thing is a revelation to a whole lot of them. And that is why that is as simple as that.
But that we know that quite a number of the smart schools have been completed, painted.
You see, the problem,
if we begin to talk about
the problem I have with you people is that a journalist must do investigative journalism.
That's right.
They say 260. We have 17 local government areas. Let your feet be on the ground across board. Count it. It's not much. I came to this local government. I can count 1, 2, 3, 4 completed and ready to fly. When they say completion, do you know 146 billion was earmarked in the budget to equip the smart school? Are you aware? It's there. The House of Assembly refused to do their constitutional responsibility of oversighting. You see, government has been structured in such a way that such things will not happen or will not be happening. If the House Committee on Education or Works or whoever is responsible to do oversight has been oversighting this, it will not work. You have a time frame for completion of any contract. First 60 days, ABCD must have been done. So and so. You are giving them a timeline of 6 months, 1 year, or whatever number of months you agree in the whatever. Now, oversight will have been a check on this. This is the 4th month, and you are still at the foundation. By 4th month, you should have been at the roofing level. We keep on calling this thing smart school, and I keep on correcting people. It is not smart yet. What component made it to be smart?
But that's intention.
Now, intention is not what we are talking about. All of us have good intention, and that's where contractual agreements come into arrangement with human beings and companies. Because the mind of a man is very fickle. That good intention must be put on paper. So that if you want to shift, we bring out the paper. And that is why we go further to bring in register it at High Court, the agreements. Notarized by the Commissioner of Oaths, so that you don't run away from what you have signed previously.
These are processes.
And these are the processes that has always been there. And that's why in 2007, Public Procurement Act was enacted. Some states have domesticated theirs. I don't know whether Enugu state has domesticated theirs. It enables things to move smoothly, and such issues we are having will not have cropped up. But the fact remains that Enugu state has lost 5.7 billion naira. It is irrecoverable in next 5 years because of the judicial system we are practicing. The grammar will soon die off. They won't kill that guy in their place. They will go to court until they secure judgment.
No, he doesn't need to be killed because he needs to pay back the money.
That is what I'm trying to tell you. You don't just pay back the money. He doesn't pay back the money like that. The court will find out A, B, C, D. It will take a lot of time. Even if you judgment is secure at level of High Court, he might appeal it. From appeal, he goes to Supreme. And you know that the ways of justice in Nigeria grinds or very slow. This government might not even be the people that will be beneficiaries of this money. Peradventure, the young man is finally indicted by the judicial system. That is the truth. The case is just beginning. So what I'm trying to tell you is that for now, 5.7 billion naira is not available in our coffers. It has left these coffers. So the legal system, a lot of legalese. You see senior advocates of Nigeria arguing this matter. Who breached what? If you breach Public Procurement Act, is a criminal act, is a criminal offense. So there must be a penalty for the government breaching the act in the first place. You saw it. Why didn't you advertise it? 2 national delis, you did not do it. Federal Tenders Board is not there. If you buy Federal Tenders Board tomorrow now, you see programs and projects of different state governments advertised there online, so that anybody will have access to it. Whoever that feels that he has competence in engineering, construction, would go and make his bid. Technical and financial bid. Why do they do financial bid? To see whether you have the capacity.
Surprisingly so, we have a huge number of legal persons constituting this current administration. The governor himself is a barrister, the deputy is a barrister. We also have a lot of barristers, lawyers, okay, as part of the government. So I wouldn't want to say they shied away from the obvious that you are stating now.
Reading law is one thing, being a lawyer is another thing. You can read law. A lawyer is somebody that has practiced law. You can read medicine, but you're not a doctor. He read medicine. He's not a doctor. Until you put it into practice, that is not what you are. Certificate is one thing. Application of knowledge is another thing. In your sphere, you see a lot of people that did not read journalism that are practicing journalists. Maybe by dint of 1 or 2 regulations of Nigerian Union of Journalists that you go and get a 1-year internship program to put you in line. But the person has always been operating as a media person because he has a flair or he has a passion. He can call himself a media man, not really a journalist, to avoid unnecessary problem with those that are journalists practicing. So a whole lot of them, just like Nigeria, you see a lot of too many persons that are lawyers, that read law, but they are not lawyers. It takes diligence for processes to be gone through and for applications to be experienced. You see what has just happened is inability to follow laid down procedure that is very clean and clear. There are offices of government that man these things. Somebody has to scrutinize. Somebody has to filter this. Somebody will see the red flag. Hey, why Jais Bank and Zenith Bank? At that point, you should not pay. So why would the Accountant General author the payment or approve the payment when you see such a red flag?
All right, so
it must have been from an approving authority bigger than them, because I will not tell you that they are not professionals in their own right. But because the process has already become defective from the beginning, who are there to stop it from flowing? And possibly they knew that this is where it's going to end.
Well, the investigation is still ongoing. We are looking onto the FCC to actually, make public their findings. And then for the rest, people of Enugu State, we're expecting that 5.7 billion naira, in the hands of Sujimoto will be refunded so that development can keep running. But finally, in the next 1 minute, Honorable Chukwunemi Okereke, there are some persons who have argued from the point of why should a Western, a Yoruba man now, apologies anyway, be given such a huge sum to execute contract in Enugu? I don't know if you belong to that caliber of persons who are reasoning from that angle.
The governor does not believe or trust the people that is in Enugu. He has done it severally. It is a flair he has.
Is he not just trying to be nationalistic?
Well,
to be a true Nigerian?
Well, you can be nationalistic with some things, and some things you must be very local. You don't abandon the security of your house to outsiders. There are things you don't give to strangers. There are things you just don't, as a matter of fact.
So you belong to that?
It does not a matter of belonging, because we are seeing it every day. He does not believe in the Enugu person. He does not believe in the citizens of this state. He has penchant for outsourcing things to those that did not vote for him in power. their business is to vote for him in power. Then the business of the outsiders, the foreigners, is to execute his programs and projects, even when they are not qualified. Because Sujimoto is a construction entrepreneur. He's not a civil engineer, he's not an architect. And he even said it in his video, that he told him that he has never done such a project before. Somebody was able to confess openly that he has not been able to do this and still forced it on him. Whereas we have over-tested professionals in Enugu, that there are many. Enugu has been built up. And I know that 95% of buildings in Enugu were done by locals or people within this environment. It's not as if it's wrong giving a Yoruba man, Hausa man contract in Enugu. But there has to be a competitive bidding process. That's the point I'm making. If it is open, and you qualify, why not? If not.
Okay. All right, so certainly a good place to leave discussion now. We'll certainly have you here again. I believe not too long distant time from now, maybe to look at the turn of events from the FCC's investigation. Hope you'll oblige us the call.
No problem.
Thank you very much, Dev. You and as much we are taking. We are watching to see how the whole thing pans out. Enugu State Government versus Sujimoto. Thank you very much. My name is Chris Anibogo. Welcome to Aneke TV, the heartbeat of culture, truth, and innovation. From breaking news to inspiring documentaries, from grassroots traditions, mysteries of life to global perspectives, we'll tell your stories. We amplify your voice and your vision. With every screen we light up, we connect, inform, and empower. It's more than a television. This is Aneke TV. We move with the world.